Everything's rolling, guys. Here we go. Podcast time.
Okay.
All right. Natural conversation starts
now.
I guess I'll just introduce it. Welcome to the Super Underground podcast, the first episode. We've never done this before, so this is going to be very interesting. If anything goes wrong, we're going to blame Ed, though.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. Nothing will go wrong.
I can hear your voice peaking in the
headphones.
In the headphones.
Yeah, they're kind of loud. I might actually turn them down.
So Gabe, why don't you introduce why we're all here? Why, what is
the why and the how?
To be honest, this shouldn't even be happening.
Why the fuck?
This was supposed to be a remote podcast.
Yes.
We had talked about recording something, doing just some kind of like podcasting for a long time.
And then we're like, hey, what if we set up a whole studio? I'm like, okay. Yeah.
So Ed here, my partner Ed.
Excuse me?
Here, yeah, he's a fellow media man.
Partner. Yes.
He helped set up this whole thing for us.
Indeed.
Kind of last minute. Andrew was going to be in town. Andrew doesn't actually live here. But we're like, hey, while Andrew's in town, we could shoot a video version of this podcast.
Yeah.
So these might not all look like this. We'll see. We might be in a different set every time.
Yeah.
I think this has been a long time coming, and I think, y'all probably who know Gabe probably may or may not have seen me and Ed in other formats as well, whether it be on stream.
Yeah, they've shown up in streams and stuff.
Yeah. We've tangentially worked
out
together a lot in different ways over the years.
Oh, yeah. Andrew and I go way back, getting into the Superplexus lore a little bit. That's my name on TikTok, which I've always talked about maybe explaining at some point. And I was going to make a video about it. But
Superplexus.
Superplexus is the name of a game project that we worked on.
Yep.
But it also is the name of my Pokemon Go handle. So I just made my TikTok account Superplexus. I'm going to be making Pokemon Go videos. So I'll just name it after my account, which happened to be named after the game.
Yeah.
Which is how our Discord got the name Super Underground.
Underground.
Just a variation of that. And here we are doing a Super Underground podcast.
It's underground.
It's underground.
And it's a podcast.
Yeah.
Super Underground Party, Discord. You can find Gabe G Medley.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm G Medley pretty much everywhere else, but on TikTok it's still Superplexus. So
my socials are a mess. It's Grow Everything. It's Synthway. It's Echo SFX.
See, I don't feel bad about
There's a lot of endeavors.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not the only one because I look at even people online. You got Moist Critical. His YouTube handle is still Penguins0.
Oh yeah,
with a Z. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, just make good videos and don't worry.
I think people
don't worry about the algorithm. Will do the rest of the work. You don't have
so much of this
worry
is
about
already
the username.
Yeah, so much of it is already recommended or AI giving you the suggestion to watch a clip or a video anyway, and so it's kind of hard to.
It's kind of
No, truly,
it's the beautiful thing and horrible thing about the social media right now.
Yes,
there's definitely pros and cons to it.
Yeah. It's amazing how much that mindset has changed, really, because when you upload to YouTube. Specifically YouTube these days, you don't even think about your number of subscribers really. You're like, how is this going to perform as YouTube recommends it to other people? Mm-hmm. Even when I post to my garden channel now, I never expect the subscribers to actually just fully go through and watch. It's always new people coming in. It's wild.
It's the same thing with TikTok. You never get views TikTok, in proportion with your followers. People do not open their following tab. So
right.
Every video is its own little microcosm.
Yeah.
There's no free views, unfortunately.
No free views.
Not in this new economy.
Well, what's crazy on TikTok too is they aren't long lasting views. They're here and gone real quick.
Oh yeah.
The pacing on there is insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is different on YouTube too, because I've been uploading shorts there and those have a longer lifespan. Or really? some will sit. I mean, this happens on TikTok too occasionally. But usually after a video pops once on TikTok, it's done.
Really?
And that might be a delayed explosion later. But YouTube Shorts have this weird long-term life cycle. They'll just keep growing, which is kind of how YouTube videos work.
Yeah,
too.
I was going to say that's pretty interesting because that's really kind of even the nature of the long-form videos on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a new thing with TikTok. I kind of imagine that long-form media in general just is sort of separated in how it works and how it retains views compared to short form media. I think of what Vine was supposed to be is essentially TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys remember, but Vine was at least for a while, it was limited to 6 seconds.
It's much shorter. Yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, the likelihood that somebody wouldn't even watch something all the way through, like when you think about the way analytics work on YouTube, and it will be like, oh, people watch 55%, 70% of your video. Behind it's probably 100%, if not 300% every single time.
Right.
So
it's kind of amazing that on TikTok you can even post a long form video at all. What is like the cap?
It's 10 minutes.
I think 10 minutes is the cap.
I'd say that that's long form these days. I think a lot of YouTubers are even trying to create videos that are like less than 10 minutes, and they're saying like that's the best.
I mean, I would say most videos are still like under 30 seconds. Like that I see mostly like just short like meme posts and things like that. But if you can edit your videos, you can easily make videos that are 1 to 2 to 3 minutes or more and then keep people's attention.
For sure.
And I guess that's like, isn't that why Vine died? Because they couldn't really find a way to monetize someone's attention in like 6-second bursts. Because you can't throw.
I don't know.
I never couldn't throw ads in there. It's like too fast. But I don't know.
I never really got the story behind that, but that does make sense because of the short duration.
Because from what I understand, like TikTok is entering this new era where they're monetizing longer videos.
Right.
Like they're like really focusing on that, which is interesting. So there's probably some advertiser reason for that, where it's just like, short videos are fun and like shareable. It's like sharing like GIFs or like little memes but it changes constantly too. So anything I'm saying could be completely different in like a month.
So, yeah, that's true.
Next 10 minutes.
You never know.
You get an email out a policy change. You're like, oh no.
Yep.
Oh God.
I think one of the really complicated things about that is, especially with particular words that you're really not like permitted to say on different media outlets. So like what you can say on TikTok is not equal to what you can say on YouTube. And one of the things about that actually is people will create a video that has, I think I've seen a few instances of this, where they'll create a video that has some kind of language in it that right now the filter doesn't really get them demonetized, but tomorrow it might.
Right.
Based on a policy change or something like
but
that.
At the same time, stuff moves so fast on TikTok that there's always the chance that it can go viral. Right. And I'm trying to think of how to say this. It'll go viral and then it gets removed. Yeah. So the potential already was spent before the bot could even get rid of it a lot of the time.
And that's actually one of the really cool things about TikTok, because you can get your potential
information flows so fast on that app. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I think Gabe's done a pretty good job of taking advantage of that, but you've also had to be really creative with each clip.
Yeah, and
free.
I have found out what they don't like pretty quickly. You know, you get a few videos taken down, you're like, why was this removed? I can't. You try to appeal it, they're like, nope. And you kind of gradually through trial and error figure out what works and what doesn't. And then once you stop getting banned, you can figure out what actually does get views, and then it's really
when you're finally unpermabanned.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Figure it out.
But I don't know. I enjoy it because there is a challenge aspect to it, and the instant feedback to be able to like work on something for a day and post it and immediately see the results from that and then like adapt, and it's fun for me.
Yeah,
but also frustrating in some ways, like because it doesn't come with the same like securities that like, if you're growing a YouTube channel, I feel like it's a little easier to create a consistent audience and you can expect them to come back. But I know people that have been posting on TikTok that are, they're doing their thing and they're doing something that has been getting views, and then suddenly they're not getting views and they don't know why.
Yes. Algorithm gets picky
and it's like,
changes its tone.
And I've had to change too. I mean, I obviously started off like making a lot of Pokemon Go stuff, but even that, I've noticed the drop in viewership kind of across the board in line with like the player base's sentiment, because the game itself is kind of in a rough spot right now. Companies going through a bunch of changes.
Right. I mean, that game has also been out for a while now. I mean,
it just hit the 7th.
Is it 7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember it released, what was it, early in 2016 or summer of 2016 was it?
I think it was July 6th.
Okay.
Because the start date is in the app.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure
really?
I downloaded the day of. And we all played it here. Like, we were all living in Naples.
Level 19, baby.
Ed got all the way to level 19.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's one of the few rare moments that Ed actually gamed.
I played a game, guys. Look at me.
Ed gamed once.
I did it.
And it was fun. I mean, everybody was playing back
I did it for you, Gabe.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that game did a really good job of tricking people into like gaming outside.
Yeah.
Like, and getting outside. Like,
it was such a brand new, crazy concept. And I still like, I think there are people that are still excited by that. Like, I mean, I guess I'm a good example of like someone who I kept playing it for a reason. So it was like, it's still a compelling idea for me, but it is sad that it hasn't grown as much as like, I think people expected it to. Because people were like hooked on the concept and the novelty of it. And then were staying on board to see like how that would grow. Like, oh, this is a crazy, like, imagine all the possibilities of what you can do with like a GPS game that you can play outside. And so I would say for the first couple of years, most of my investment was like, oh, okay, this is cool now. But all right, it's maybe gotten a little old, but it's going to get better because there's going to be like new updates coming out. Yeah. And there have been, but have they when you think back, it's like, oh, it's been 7 years.
Slow down.
It hasn't like changed that much. I mean, they had new Pokemon and other little things, but
I'm curious, what kind of things were you expecting them to add?
I expected it to become more like an MMO.
Me too.
Because that's what like,
I don't know what that is.
That's a good, see, this is why it's good to have Ed here, because there are other people who might not have any idea what an MMO is.
So Gabe, what is an MMO?
An MMO.
Please explain.
Is
I love good MMO. I love it. It tastes.
Yeah, actually, you. How about you take the what is an MMO?
Well, the first MMO I played was technically RuneScape, probably.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'm with the OG crowd playing some of those old.
My friends
MMOs.
were playing that all the time back in 2007, I think.
Yeah, it's like that game. That game tried to. I think that the first.
Also, if you do that again.
I'm sorry. I saw it. Hold on. Let me just.
You're done.
Let me just scoot it.
Some guys can have your ass.
We're good.
I'm gonna kick
Ed,
it. It's gonna, you know. You guys saw my foot.
I think people normally think of an MMO as just a game that you're socially connected with a sort of what feels like a limitless number of people. Even though there is usually some kind of hard cap. Yeah. But generally, it just feels like it's like a world that you're like sharing with other people.
Yeah. It stands. MMO is massively multiplayer online.
Oh, that's what the acronym is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, massively.
So things like RuneScape and World of Warcraft and things like that. But I think in Niantic's view, and this is sort of the core of the issue and why they probably haven't grown as much as we thought, is Niantic is a tech that's like moonlighting as a game company when they feel like it.
They're moonlighting.
Like they're making a game.
Well, that would explain the connection to GPS and all of that kind of like mapping technology.
Well, and it started as a spinoff of Google. It was like a Google with like Alphabet, some like.
Oh yeah, weren't they using Google's data to map things?
Yeah, I mean it was like Google employees from the start, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then they did the spinoff and they made a game called Ingress, and that was like the first test of the technology. And then all the waypoints in that game were used as like the foundation for Pokemon Go.
Right.
And they were getting some of their money from Google as well, right? Because they
all their funding was it was all Google.
And that's a big deal. I mean, like I think people forget how much money it takes to actually create a really good game. Like in order to make, and I mean, look, it doesn't always take that. It's just generally speaking, the amount of funding it takes to get the talent, to get designers that are really, really good at what they do. It actually is pretty surprising how tricky it is. But the funny thing about Pokemon Go is there's really one function, at least in 2016 there was. In 2016, when the game came out, it was basically just catching Pokemon and like Pokestops.
Yep, you can spin stops, you can fight gyms, and you can catch Pokemon.
Yep, I remember doing many a good gym fight.
And it really didn't take long before you had caught them all.
The cat just opened the door.
Dude, that freaked me out.
How did you do that, Dave?
What? Is this like a new...
What?
Guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah, so anyway...
we might as well just start over at this point.
No. So before we cut, we were talking about... we were wrapping up our little discussion about Niantic.
Yes.
I told you that they've been having a bit of an identity crisis.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just a bit.
And that has finally culminated in what John Hankey calls his Niantic organizational update. Which was this was an email that he sent.
Is that it? Is it too much to read? Or is there like
I am not going to read all of it. I don't think
he wrote a lot.
All of it, but he wrote a lot. It was written definitely as a PR statement. But
I'm ready for
employees.
the tea.
Like I'm sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
spill that tea.
Oh yeah. Get ready.
Delicious.
No, I mean, there's not.
That was awesome. Sounded like something out of a commercial.
Basically, the TLDR of like the main news here was that they were closing a studio and laying off about 230 people.
Oh, 230. Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty substantial. I don't actually know how many employees they have, but
wow.
That studio was actually an LA studio. So they didn't lay off, as far as I know, they didn't lay off like core Pokemon Go staff. Mm-hmm. It was specifically people working on like a Marvel AR game that looked really bad. They showed footage of it. And I think they had bought this studio back in like 2018.
Okay, so Gabe,
and it was a bad. It looked
I understand. You're telling me that Pokemon Go is shutting down?
No. No, it actually says right here. Hold on. The top priority is to keep Pokemon Go healthy and growing as a forever game.
Oh, that's some corporate jargon there.
Have you ever heard the term forever game like used by any company?
No. What?
I think this is a term. I don't know.
A forever game.
A forever game.
I mean, okay, so just so people know.
It's a great theory.
There's a forever home and there's also a forever game?
There's a forever game.
Okay.
And you play it in real life. Life is a forever game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or is it?
Maybe. I don't have the answer to that.
I don't
have the answer to that either. What is death? Is death?
What is death? Yeah, if there's a forever game, then are there... what's the opposite of forever?
For never.
For never.
Are there for never games?
You stop. You just stop right now.
For never.
Well,
I don't want to hear another word
now,
like that out of your mouth.
For never.
For never.
The Marvel AR game is a for never game because that's never going to see the light of day.
That is stuff for never happening here.
Well,
but don't worry. Because they said we will also focus on making our recently launched games a success. In terms of user retention, revenue, and profitability, I am confident about the prospects for Pikmin Bloom, Peridot, and Monster Hunter Now, but we have a lot of work to do. That's not a great, like, positive, like...
I mean, if you're comparing it to that Gollum game that came out recently, it's probably, it's probably going to do pretty good.
Yeah.
No, that's the funny thing is, I don't think... Niantic couldn't make a game even like the Gollum game successfully at this point.
Yeah. Yikes.
Because they're making games that leverage technology, which when Pokemon Go came out was just GPS. Like,
right.
They had a really good system for tracking a very broad bubble of like where you are GPS wise.
Right.
Right.
But you still play most of the game like on your phone. You're not really like using your environment. But they want that future where, you have like AR glasses and you can like be immersed and have that heads up display. Like that's their goal. But unfortunately, as we saw with like the Apple headset, like we're nowhere near being that close.
The
like,
2-hour battery life.
Yeah, we're not going to be wearing any kind of like mixed reality
weighs
headset.
17 pounds.
Yeah, that thing weighs 17 pounds.
And that's a lie. That's a total lie. But people were saying it felt really heavy on their heads. Yeah,
that's way too many pounds for my head.
My head's probably already 17 pounds.
My head might be about 17 pounds. I don't know if I can handle 2 heads. I think I'm not ready for that.
Anyway, there was some point here where basically they thought that we were going to move in that direction. Because it's been 7 years since, the games come out.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we made all this money off Pokemon Go. Let's like throw all that into R&D and just get ready for like this new wave of AR tech.
Yeah, like a new tech.
Come on, boys. Let's ramp it up.
They have not made a single game except Peridot, which I'm not even going to try to explain, but it does use an AR camera. Like mandatory, you do have to use it.
Really?
And it's
mandatory.
It's also not a very good game.
It's kind of interesting how many people like turned off the AR camera. The AR,
yeah, that's where I was going with that. I feel like people don't use it.
AR is still kind of in its rough stages too, though. Anything I've seen that's AR, I'm kind of like,
it still feels like a gimmick, except for like very specific scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems
and
really
people don't need it to play Pokemon Go. It's not required.
Yeah, not at all.
And Pikmin Bloom is doing pretty well, and that game is basically a pedometer. It's not even really like there's no like AR in it. Like you could you're playing that on your phone like still. So
in Pikmin Bloom, are you doing similar things to what you do in Pokemon Go, where you're like hatching eggs by walking a certain distance?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
All your XP is based on steps.
Okay,
and it's still kind of a collecting game where you're just collecting like
a lot of you guys probably already know this stuff.
Actually, you'd be surprised. I don't think a lot of people play Pikmin Bloom, which is why John Hankey had such hopeful language for it.
Right. Okay.
But they are supporting it, and that's a completely separate team. I think they actually did open like a Japan studio where there's a totally separate team working on that. And I think my theory is that Miyamoto loves Pikmin enough that he will never ever let them stop making that game. That game could be making no money.
It's a passion project.
I think Pikmin Bloom will be okay just because that's Nintendo's little baby.
Nintendo has a history of like you said, Ed, like passion project. They totally have a history of just saying like, I don't care if the Wii U sucks. We're just gonna like continue manufacturing Wii U's. Even though no one is fucking buying them.
Yeah.
That's what they basically said.
At that point,
yeah, I mean, they stopped eventually.
At that point, they should just like manufacture the original Wii because there's probably more nostalgia for that.
Yeah, I mean, the original Wii did pretty well. Yeah, like compared to the Wii U in terms of sales.
No, they won't ever remanufacture the same hardware, but they will make a smaller version of it sell it as a novelty.
Do that.
Doesn't the Wii though? It kind of has a cult following as a console, right? Or is that mostly just nostalgia?
Yeah, some of it's nostalgia, but some of it is actually just there were like actual like Wii games that just like were specific to the Wii, and people really liked those games. And I mean, there's also there is a cult following behind certain remasters that were on the Wii U. Like I know, Gabe, you might remember like Wind Waker HD. Like there's actually a lot of folks that like prefer playing that are speedrunning it, and they actually have like
they like that re-release version?
Yeah, and they have like a good faith relationship with the Wii U as like a console. Mm-hmm. But it feels like for the most part, most people are like, yeah, the Wii was really cool, but the Switch is really where Nintendo saved its ass because they weren't. They fell behind with the Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii U literally came out like 3 years too early.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like what they were trying to do with that tech was basically they wanted to make the Switch. They just couldn't yet. Mm-hmm. And so they had this like weird intermediary.
Yeah, because
it's a wireless connection, but don't go like more than 30 feet away.
That's what I was going to say. So it was like a console mixed with a controller that was big enough to be its own console.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it being kind of weird.
Which, funny enough, it is
chunky.
The Switch is. It's that is actually what the Switch is. But
the Switch kind of completes the.
And they are so happy with the Switch.
The transition.
They're so very satisfied with how that console's gone that they refuse to make a new one.
Oh, really?
We've had they're still making new Switch games and like what we're like
so have
5 years into.
Have they released any like updates to the Switch itself? Like, is there a newer version?
They made one with like a better screen and stuff like that, but they haven't made like a true,
but not a true overhaul of like the processor. Anything like that.
I would totally be interested in buying a new Switch with the new screen if I also knew like it got like a better chip or like
see, because even that is a very justifiable.
What people thought they were going to do,
even if it's the same patent technology,
even if the games are the same. Yeah. People thought they were going to do like a Switch Pro that just would run the same games, but at a higher frame rate.
Totally.
And things like that.
Higher frame rate, give us a little more resolution. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, how high does the Switch currently go?
1080.
That's it?
Yep.
10 daddy.
Give me 4K.
They're the only company still doing that.
Nintendo do
better. But they've never really cared about the graphics. They do like...
That's true. They've always kept their resolutions pretty low.
Yeah.
They like their gimmicks though, which in a way it's like they're similar to Niantic in that they like the hardware aspect and they want to do like new stuff they get excited about.
Yeah.
We're going to do motion controls and like they did like a whole 3D thing and I think they were one of the first ones to do the AR thing with the 3DS. Did you ever play with those little cards?
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that they would collab like Niantic and Nintendo, but
the
difference with Nintendo is that they can actually make fun video games.
Isn't that weird? They haven't given up on creating games that have like, okay, so when you create a game, you are actually asking yourself like, how realistic do I want this gameplay to be versus like, how gimmicky do I want this gameplay to be? And I love that like of all game studios, Nintendo's game studios, because I think they have like different studios that they are like coordinated with.
Yeah.
None of them have really, they've always funded games that are basically a little bit gimmicky, but not too much. Like Pikmin, for example, is a good example of a game that is relatively gimmicky.
So good.
But the actual underlying gameplay, you can relate it to common gameplay structures, like growing something, like the idea of growing a base or growing like an army. Those are like ideas in lots of games that like feel really satisfying, that you're in a weird roundabout way with really strange gameplay mechanics. You're achieving those goals and those values in Pikmin, but in totally unorthodox ways.
I mean, Pikmin's like a weird RTS for kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I say that as a kid that played like real RTS games, but like it really is like an accessible version of like StarCraft.
What is an RTS?
Thank you. Ed is so good at catching. Ed's looking out for the non-gamers in the crowd, which I'm sorry.
All two of them.
I'm sorry if you're watching this and you don't care about games, but
shit, Ed.
We're going to be talking about everything. And our RTS stands for real-time strategy.
Real-time strategy.
The idea behind that is
even you got to think on your feet.
Yeah, like
it's weird that it doesn't.
That term doesn't even capture what those games are.
It's just that every like moment in time, there's an event that could be occurring, as opposed to like turn-based strategy games, which are I don't have good examples off the top of my head, but where it's like
turn-based, like RPGs, like Final Fantasy.
Right. There's a certain amount of time for my turn, a certain amount of time for your turn, and the game plays are rooted in values based in strategy as opposed to like action or something like that. So I think that's always kind of an interesting difference to like try to work out. Like I think when working on an RTS, you're trying to figure out like what parts of it should feel real time and what parts of it should feel like stage time. Like in StarCraft, you're micromanaging units and that feels very real time. Building something is actually a delayed thing that feels like a turn. It feels like you're beginning a turn when you're doing that, even though the start and end are like real time of the building of that, like let's say like a command center in StarCraft or something like that. So it's kind of interesting that real time strategy games have a little bit of like both. And real time.
And it's like stacking of those turns and, you know, playing efficiently and managing multiple units. Like as you're talking about this, I realized that Pikmin 4 is coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And that's like the only new RTS that's been out on any console or even on PC in probably like, I mean, there's probably indie RTS games, but like nobody's making.
Hey, folks are watching out for Day 9 TV started a game studio supposedly working on an RTS.
Andrew, I'm just going to interrupt and ask that you just bring your mic a tiny bit closer.
Yeah, so
bring it in.
So just bring it in.
I want that voice hot. I want that signal hot.
I want everybody to go check out Day 9 TV. Day 9 TV on YouTube and all the other ones. I think he's still on Twitch. He just started a game studio, got funding and everything for creating a new RTS. And
there's nobody's making them. I mean, that would be so cool to get more of them. Because I mean, before we played, we got like on a big like League of Legends kick when I was in college. Like in a big way. We played that all the time. But before
I remember those days. That's when we were shooting our short film.
Yeah, we got you to play that a little bit.
Yes.
I hit the mic.
I was so overwhelmed by the amount of things going on graphically that I was like, am I making progress or am I dying?
Genuinely.
And every time they're like, you're dying.
That was genuinely like mean of us to throw you. Because MOBA games...
They are kind of like complex.
Yeah, they're kind of like RTS games.
I just wanted to be part of the group. So you were so brave.
Yeah, you were so brave for surviving that era of us trying to teach you League when you didn't even have like basic fundamentals in like other video games. Oh my God. And that's why we don't see a lot of RTS games, is because they are very complicated and hard to play. So
they're probably really hard to make too. Yeah,
I think what I was saying is we did play a lot of StarCraft, which was like the gateway drug into League of Legends, and
how did we get on that topic about RTSs? Was that basically? Basically,
I think it was Pikmin. Yeah,
it was kind of amazing.
Pikmin is an RTS game.
Coming back to it is kind of amazing that is the only like structural
mainstream
RTS mainstream thing happening right now in the world of RTS. Like that's
way to go, Nintendo. Crazy. What innovation.
Let's go, Nintendo.
So RTS stands for really tight strategy.
Really tight strategy, guy.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, guy.
I learned today.
Never learn.
Yeah. And I feel really good about just being a real tight strategy guy. Yeah. It's nice.
You gotta get that strategy and you gotta get it real tight.
You gotta get real tight.
Real tight.
You get it in the air tight. I want you to feel it.
Oh, he's going full Jim on us again.
Oh shit.
Jim, come back.
Yeah, I think
come back to the office.
I just want to talk about Pikmin. I don't know what we're talking about. I just wanted to talk about Pikmin. I'm so excited for that game to come out, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because that's what I do on my channel. I make videos about Pikmin. So
that's right. Yeah, and we do have a lot of new Nintendo games coming out. I mean, like pretty soon. I feel like, and the last Nintendo Direct was pretty good.
We have 20 new Nintendo games coming out in 480p, baby.
All of them in 40p. That is actually one of the funniest things about the Wii U's launch was I remember like the marketing for that. And they were like, Mario Brothers in 720p.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was 2007.
Yeah. And I thought that was so funny. I think
maybe you're right.
Wasn't the Wii U? It was like locked to 720p or something like that.
On the gamepad, it was. I think it would render to 1080 on a TV.
No, really?
I think it would.
Let me make sure because I was pretty sure it was locked to 720p.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right because that is
on
definitely
certain games. It might have been. Actually.
The original Wii was definitely 480 though.
Oh, the original Wii was 480.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, again, is part of the problem with like the Wii U's success is they should not have called it the Wii U. Everyone thought it was like an add-on. They thought it was like a tablet that you bought for your current Wii. And then nobody bought it.
It looks like it looks like architecturally it was able to render to it. Sorry about that. Architecturally, it does look like the Wii U was able to render at 1080p.
I want you to look at me. I want you to make eye contact and I want you to learn. We don't touch the fucking microphones, okay?
Listen to Daddy. Daddy's telling you something. You gotta look him in the eyes.
I'm really sorry. Look, I'm ready.
I want you to look me right in the shotgun microphone.
Listen,
and tell me what you did.
I understand, all right, and I am working on apologizing in my own way, Daddy. I mean, like I have
said every YouTuber this year.
I have been creating.
I am working my way towards the apology.
Do we need to get this man a ukulele?
Yeah, give me a ukulele to apologize right now.
Okay,
guys, I started my new apology OnlyFans. Only apologies.
The sexiest of apologies. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't give people ideas. They're going to do it. You're going to bring it into the world.
I'm just so sorry.
Ed, it was funny when you said this stuff in private, but now that you're putting it into the world, someone is going to do that.
I'm showing my privates.
It looks like basically there were like some games that were able to run at 60 and 1080p, 60 frames.
60 frames on the Wii U?
Really?
Wii U, yeah.
But
it was
that era is gone.
The game had to be designed to do that, and I think what would happen is if the game was like split screen or something like that, they would have to like I don't know, change that, like maybe run it at 30 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just didn't play the Wii U enough to like.
Yeah. Which is interesting. It's kind of interesting to me think like, let's create a console that like some games will have this renderer and other games will have like a different renderer. That just seems kind of weird to me. Like it feels like it should be part of the hardware architecture to decide like, we're going to just
isn't that what like modern, like the PS5 and all that, don't they have like dynamic resolution and things to preserve frame rate dynamically? I don't know. I don't know. Andrew is the engineer here, by the way. I don't know if we've made that clear, but he's
for sure.
Yes, he knows a thing or two about rendering engines and stuff like that. So.
Yes, I'm Medley Studios on Discord.
He is Medley Studios.
I am Medley Studios.
He is the Medley Studio.
Professional coder.
Software engineer in crypto and game dev. So
you go to him for that. But if you need cuttings of specific plants, then you can go to the other end. We're getting out of the...
And then over here, we've got my side hustle.
I love the...
Let me show you my latest side hustle. My apologies, OnlyFans.
I'm so sorry.
There's so much Ed lore that that's another thing I just want to like spread out. You know, we just sort of spread Ed.
Spread Ed.
Today we're gonna spread Ed. And
that'll be segment. It's just revealing one of Ed's.
I'm scared.
Pillars.
I don't want to know what that segment's about.
I think it would be fun throughout the podcast to call out that we're a Christian podcast when it is totally irrelevant. Like completely irrelevant.
Oh yeah, keep that in your back pocket. There's going to be good opportunities.
Like you'd be talking about something that's controversial for totally different reasons, like non-religious reasons. Something that's totally like, you know, vanilla versus chocolate. Yeah, it's like, well, we are a Christian podcast.
Yeah, like
just throw that in there.
I mean, like Andrew, what do you think about the fact that most creators on OnlyFans
pretty vanilla,
make like only like $100 a month?
They only make $100 a month, and I get that. I mean, look, we are a Christian podcast,
right?
And one thing about that is we all have OnlyFans accounts.
I was not informed of this.
Well, like I went to OnlyFans because one, the money's pretty good. And 2, the money's really good. But 3, I just feel like there was, a light missing in the tunnel, in the darkness, the dark tunnel.
The dark.
The dark tunnel.
Number 3, I just want to show my dick.
Oh, I just heard what you said. That took me a second.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just got to process that one.
I was able to rewind for a second.
And I realized that there weren't very many people teaching about Jesus on OnlyFans, and I figured this is the place to go. So look, I'm just saying. Wait, no, I promise you're gonna love this. But I decided to create an OnlyFans. Look, I know I've been with the church for like 15 years, but trust me, okay. Look, we just got through all of Corinthians.
Our family's gonna see this.
Our family.
All you do is read Song of Solomon,
right? Over. And over.
Yes.
Our family's gonna see this, which is why it's great. Yeah. What you're doing is so Christian.
It is the sexiest.
Look,
Jesus
book of the Bible. Went into the darkest places.
That's true. He was to
spread what we call.
Oh my God! I don't know if that was into. Oh my God!
Yeah.
No. All right.
It wasn't.
No.
But,
isn't there though?
But that's why it's really good.
Isn't there a line?
Oh my God!
In Song of Solomon that talks about breasts like pomegranates,
yes,
or some shit like that.
Yeah,
that's hot.
Andrew, good brother. You just had that was Old Testament.
Yeah, Old Testament.
Jesus is
the Final Testament.
The final testament.
Yeah, Jesus' final testament.
Where he who was not down bad.
He was not down bad.
That's great. I'm glad you're working on a new translation for the new generation.
Yeah, TikTok. What
is our current one? Are we at Zoom? Are there Zoomer? What is the next? What's the youngest?
The next one is Alpha. Starting in 2012.
What was before that?
Let's go through. So
Gen Z.
So we're all
That's
millennials. All of us are millennials in this room,
God.
including Jackie.
Oh no, we're all being outed.
Shout out to Jackie.
Yeah. Shit. I just took out my microphone.
Shit.
Well, you would think I'm not the sound guy with how irresponsible I am with this.
But it is kind of interesting that there's going to be a whole new generation of people that just... They don't have any idea what life was like before TikTok. I mean, look, every generation, you can say the same thing. Right?
An iPad for that matter.
I know. Yeah. I mean, like private schools, all the kids have iPads.
Yeah.
Like that's
why they call it the iPad Kid.
Yeah. It's weird.
See that. Yeah.
It's different. And I know that was probably weird when the internet was a thing and millennials were kids. And I get that. But it just feels like the stronger technology gets, the crazier that gets. Like that problem. Yeah, kids having it.
I don't think anything will go wrong. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's totally fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, we were told that our eyes were going to fall out if we played too many video games.
We were told that.
And now we are holding TVs right up to our faces all the time. So I think we don't know what's bad for us.
I'm coding. I have 3 giant monitors.
I was also told I would.
You're a triple monitor guy.
Triple monitor. I code all day. I just got an eye exam, and he was like, "You've literally such a boring." What's the nerve called?
He looked at the medical report. He's like, "This is so boring."
He did. He called me boring.
Can't you have any problem?
He literally said, "Dude, you have the most boring optic nerve I've ever seen."
What?
And me and Jackie were like, "That's great, but like, do you want me to be sick?
Yeah,
is that
boring meaning good? Like, I don't understand what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
What the hell does that mean?
What if you want special eyes?
These are my special eyes." Yeah, and I mean, I was happy to hear that, but I also was just like, man, this guy wants his
God, can you imagine a doctor walking in with his head down? I have some bad news. This is the most boring case of cancer I've ever seen. It's going to be gone in by the time I'm done saying this. It's already gone. Like, I wish. So
it's not terminal. God, this is boring as hell.
Someone already has it. I didn't think that was.
It's just like, this is so boring.
This is the most boring, steadily improving prognosis I've ever given. You're going to be fine in like 2 weeks. How do you think I feel about that? I like seeing you every week.
I like seeing you.
I hate going to the doctor. They make me feel bad.
Who am I going to hang out with? You're getting better. You don't have cancer.
You're getting better. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Come on.
This is becoming unhinged really
This is when
quick.
I look at the camera and I just make a Jim face. Like,
oh, look at you, little Jimmy.
I made a Jim face reference. Can you tell we're millennials?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep that under wraps.
Oh my gosh, you watched The Office? You're so old.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the Super Underground podcast. That was something. That was just a sample of what is to come.
Yeah, you can subscribe to
You'll get all of this
fans account
and more.
The best content.
Yeah, if you want to see what Andrew has to come, he might describe that.
Well,
Ed might have many interesting things to come.
And what we're really wondering is when is Jesus going to come?
This is a Christian podcast after all.
But yeah, real quick, I want to give a shout out to G Fuel, which has partnered with me. If you can see over here, we have some interesting products that they were very kind enough to send me. Ed, did you tell him to do this? What's happening?
What are you even talking about?
Anyway,
I don't see anything weird going on.
Okay, well, you have options here because they do sell G Fuel in cans, which this is my preferred way to do this. Have you guys ever had G Fuel?
I personally haven't, actually.
Do you not game or?
I think we covered this.
I have never had it.
Cool.
This is going very well. Affiliate link in my bio.
I've never had it. Good job. Ed, that's okay that you're not a gamer because this is actually anime branded.
I love anime. Which
is very cool. I bet you do. You've probably watched an anime.
I watched a few animes, yeah.
But I bet you've also been you've probably experienced this. Have you ever had clickbait?
Oh, many a clickbait.
Okay.
I was on YouTube for the premium clickbait era, 2008, 2009, 2010.
You can re-experience that anytime you want with this.
I don't know why it's
called clickbait. I don't know what kind of flavor. But yeah, as you can tell, I wasn't giving any ad read for G Fuel specifically, but we do have a code SUPER. I believe it's 10% off if you use that and check out. So thank you to G Fuel.
What a deal.
If you're not already a gamer, you could be one.
You could become a gamer. Yeah, Ed, I think if you actually drink enough of this, you might feel that dark impulse to game.
You know what? If I drink that, I have a feeling that I might just jump into a JRPG and just go to town.
Awesome. Can I come?
Absolutely.
I am coming.
Currently.
Awesome.
We were working on Superplexus years. G Fuel every day. Morning, afternoon, evening.
For breakfast, G Fuel.
Did they
For lunch,
exist?
G Fuel. For dinner, G Fuel.
5-minute ad read. We'll salvage something out of that.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Jesus drank G Fuel.
For breakfast,
everybody say thank you to G Fuel.
G Fuel. For lunch,
dear G Fuel.
G Fuel. For dinner, G Fuel. For Jesus.
So
I hope you're happy.
Next time you're thinking about G Fuel, make sure to check out
Andrew. It's okay. We can stop promoting G Fuel. I know it's exciting. I'm also over. I drank a little bit of G Fuel before we started, and I feel it.
How did that taste?
You feel it?
I feel like I want to game.
Is it caffeinated?
Does it actually make you game?
So caffeinated.
Is it really?
I've been gaming this whole time.
That's so amazing.
We didn't even know.
But I mean, this podcast is also sponsored by everything any of us have ever done. So if anyone wants to shout out their internet presence,
I do. EchoSFX.com. Over 300 sound effects with included tutorials, downloads directly from Dropbox, totally free.
Ready. He was ready. He was waiting.
Holy crap, that was awesome.
I'm so proud. No, you should go check out.
Get your free sound effects today.
Superplexus on Steam. Go
download.
Another good one.
Amen.
Go download.
You already know what I do.
You guys know this guy.
You can go to Superplexus on TikTok and you know what's up.
Gabe is the celebrity of the group. Mm-hmm. I would say he is the web celebrity.
Yeah. The web celebrity is such a cursed
web celebrity.
I'm surprised I haven't heard somebody say that.
I think it's because you lose brain cells.
Probably, yeah, because it is so incredibly cursed.
Web celebrity, I'm on drugs. Right, I can feel it.
See, this, I feel like trying to pivot to a sponsored bit and then getting out of it, like that's almost what you need like a segment for.
Yeah.
And this is the segment, me kicking.
You are this fucking close. I swear.
I'm going to get banned.
I'm going to take my own microphone and throw it over there to destroy your microphone.
I'm going to get thrown
When
off.
we hit it like that, does it make a loud noise?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
No, it's really not that bad. I'm just being dramatic because it's fun.
No, it is not bad.
And it is a good reminder,
No,
a little dramatic.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have segment ideas, but we thought for our first episode, we would just keep it casual.
Let's just swing it.
But like, I'm just saying for future reference, like having a segment to just throw to a segment.
Yeah. And keep it simple. Right.
Keep it simple. Keep it safe.
Keep it safe.
And maybe the viewers can help us decide community driven segments.
Yeah.
Like we're going to start, there's going to be a TikTok account for the Super Underground podcast with clips and things like,
yep.
But I was thinking we're not really going to, no one's going to use that. Nobody better use that account for watching TikTok. Don't you dare use the For You page on that account.
Don't you dare.
Don't do it.
But if you follow that account and send us videos, we might watch those videos. And that will shape the algorithm of that account, which is a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is watch videos.
I do also consume content.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that we're all here to consume content. But just not on that For You page though. Just don't do that. Don't consume any content.
Don't log into our business account for the Super Underground podcast. And
if you tell them not to do it,
if you taint our algorithm,
they're gonna do it.
As soon as it was born, then we'll have
we
to
just
start
invited them all in.
We're going to do all this over again.
You might crack the password, and then if you do that, don't watch anything. Just don't watch any videos. We don't want you to see anything on the For You page at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're ever thinking,
they just log in. They don't do anything except put like their own affiliate link.
Andrew has found his comfort crutch. If he needs to like escape out of a topic, he can just be like, so that's why if you're feeling thirsty,
hey, you know what? They're going to get their money's worth.
Yeah.
They're going to come back to us all the time. Well, maybe we'll get a full sponsorship out of this. You never know.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that's why
should we crack one of those bad boys open and taste it? What are we doing?
That's why I wash my hair.
We could.
Don't you?
I did actually put.
Don't you dare!
I put the other. There's two versions of this. I put the other one in the fridge. If you want to.
Can I give it the old?
I can go get the cold one. There's one in the fridge.
Well, first let's let the folks know that if you're gonna have a good time gaming, I just want you to know what you're consuming. You're consuming some carbonated water, citric acid, sodium gluconate, natural and artificial flavors.
So good for you.
Potassium citrate, potassium beta hydroxybutyrate.
Butyrate. I'm pretty sure it's butyrate.
Vitamin and amino acid
Gabe's
blend.
like, if you mess up this
L-theanine,
segment,
L-tyrosine,
all
zinc gluconate.
Here we go.
Niantic.
And this is Naruto.
Niantic's in that drink.
Niantic is in the drink.
Oh no! All right, Ed's gonna taste test the other version. What does that say on there? Sage.
Hi guys. Today we're gonna drink our Naruto.
Oh no!
So the next time
Ed's capturing all the markets.
The next time you're gonna read the Bible, G Fuel,
God Fuel.
I'm gonna go.
G is for. You know
what the
G stands for?
That's what I said earlier.
The G clear. Jesus fuel.
All right, now we're gonna go.
All right, Ed. Let us know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
Hear that fizz? Oh man,
that sounded pretty good. Shit. That was a good can. Can you give us another one of those slurps real quick?
That's actually damn good.
Yeah.
Is it?
Is there sugar?
I mean, I've had it, of course. Clip that.
There's not even any sugar.
Yeah, no, zero.
Wow.
Guys, did we forget to mention that G Fuel has zero sugar?
Zero sugar.
It doesn't taste like it has zero sugar.
Are you still drinking?
This is my first time trying
is it also zero supplemented sugar or whatever?
I think there is other sweeteners in it. Yeah.
I don't know what they're using.
All right. Is it sage mode?
Sucralose. So there is some Splenda.
All right, they got some Splenda.
Yeah, green coffee bean. All right.
That's splendid.
Is there green tea?
There you go.
I went in for another sip, guys.
Green tea coffee extract.
So the next time you're about to go on your first date, G Fuel.
What does that taste like to you? That's like a little bit orangey.
Yeah, is there like a pineapple-y quality to it?
Maybe. It's tropical.
It is tropical, but you know what I like? It's not super aggressive. It is sweet.
No, it's a soft flavor.
It's got kind of like a like maybe a little bit of like a tangerine flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
Actually, you're right. Yeah. There is some tangerine.
Different.
I like
a little bit cherry in there.
What I'm thinking is honestly that who is this guy?
It tastes the way that.
Do we have a camera pointed this way?
That's
yeah, we can do a punch zoom on that. That's close enough to be in frame.
This tastes like the way I think Naruto would smell.
Oh, that tastes like Naruto?
Mm-hmm. I haven't watched much of Naruto, so
it's got that.
I don't have
it's got that Naruto odor.
Well, I'm always impressed by what G Fuel has to offer.
People are just like
0 calories, 0 sugar.
They've been talking
G Fuel today.
G Fuel for 20 minutes. Like,
okay, to be fair, this is my first time trying that, and it was good. I actually
that's an
it.
authentic review live.
Yeah,
did not
never had it before.
Let's do our plugs real quick.
Okay.
Plugs.
Me?
I already did my Echo SFX sponsorship.
Yeah, that's true.
So whoever wants to take the floor.
Right. All right. Cool fart noises on SoundCloud.
Cool fart noises.
It's like a plug that you guys don't know about.
I put my best fart on SoundCloud.
You know what we need too is we got to have like a, not just videos. People need to send us like their personal, if they're actually making videos and they want, they want like a good old roast. They want like honest feedback on the videos they're posting. They're like, hey, super Mr. Plexus.
Mr. Plex.
Hey, Mr. Plexus.
By the way, that's like a whole thing. People don't know what to call me. Like if they don't know like my real name.
His name is Gabe?
I've been called Plex.
G-E-E-B?
I've been called, hey, what's up, Super?
Hey, Super.
And it's like, just call me Gabe. It's fine.
Hey, Super.
What's up, Super? Hey, Superplex.
Hey, bud. Hey, champ.
Oh, God.
I've heard it all, and none of it feels good to say.
Every time I go on your live, you're Gabe. G-E-E-B.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know how many people would be brave enough to put themselves out there and be like, yeah, roast my stuff. But I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be
brutally honest. If you're willing to do it, I mean, think of it as a free shout out. Maybe you think you do make good videos and you're trying to like pull one on us.
The segment will be called
trick them into showing my stuff in their podcast. That might work.
It might work. You don't know how good your shit is until we've told you.
What if it's not that good?
The segment will be called Influencer Insight. Right. We are the influencers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll give you the insight.
We'll give you the insight.
It could be a thing. We'll see.
I have 2 YouTube channels, each of which has under 10,000 subscribers. So I can't wait to give you guys some advice.
Ed, you got to make some Pikmin videos.
There you go.
I'm telling you guys that all my advice.
I found my new content strategy.
All my advice is just telling people to do what I'm doing. Like no matter what it is.
That Pikmin video you did though is popping off. Though. Holy crap!
It's goofy.
Good for you.
People really care about the blue Pikmin plight.
I was laughing my ass off, and I don't even know anything about Pikmin. That's a good. That's a good thing.
I think that's probably why it did well.
I did find an interesting take on what Jesus would post if he had an OnlyFans.
Oh, really? Okay.
What would he do? Ready. What would he post?
Well, someone said, well, the title of his most popular video would definitely be "Watch Me Get Nailed."
Oh my God.
Oh, the lowest hanging fruit. Oh. Yeah, no, of course. You got it. That's where you start. Yeah.
God, we're going to get canceled by the Christians this time around, boys.
These Christian gamers are going to be up in it.
Repent to the Lord, your Savior, Jesus Christ.
We're going to get attacked.
And to that I say, oh my God.
Well, I think we should pray.
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, we both immediately get close to the mic and start.
Dear G Fuel.
Dear G Fuel. Yeah. And
what do you got over there?
Nothing.
What are you showing?
What was that?
Nothing. Just showing the time.
We've been talking for a bit. We're probably going to...
2 minutes.
2 minutes left?
Yep.
What?
Well, what I was going to say is like, the end of a podcast is a great time to take questions and pull up comments, but we don't have those.
We don't have any of that.
This is literally the first time we're sitting down doing this. So
yep.
we need to respond to like emails, or we should probably create an email.
We need to respond to emails. We need to create an email.
We need to have an email.
Yeah, that would be the first step in getting the emails.
There'll be a way to comment on this. Send me a DM directly. DM Andrew A Medley on Discord.
A Medley Studios on Discord.
Andrew will be our email inbox for the podcast.
Just message AndyBoy123 at gmail.com.
Gmail.com. And we'll be very interested in the comments y'all have to post right after this episode.
Right after this episode, which starts right now. Like a loopable podcast. Don't even get me. I am
first 2-hour video on TikTok.
I am so sick of like the cutesy TikTok loops.
And that's why.
Like, is this really doing anything for anybody? Like, is this actually convincing people?
Wow, so seamless.
You're doing it because you can do it. But let's not loop the TikTok.
There's nothing I love more than watching the same video twice by accident.
And they don't even do it seamless.
No, it's really not.
No.
But when it is, then you just like watch the video twice and you're like, oh shit, I already saw this.
I didn't know I was watching it for the third time.
Yeah.
Shit.
I love it when it grammatically.
I've had a few moments like that.
Grammatically doesn't make sense.
It's like, and that's why here's how to get the fifth Pokemon. It's like you didn't even do it. Stop. Anyway,
oh my god,
that's my TikTok rant of the day. I'll only do one of those podcasts because
one TikTok rant per podcast.
TikTok's great. I'm not going to talk bad about them because
no, for sure.
I'm not going to talk bad about the TikTok.
TikTok bad about the TikTok. Bad.
Oh my god, I'm not going to watch this podcast. But if I hear that this part's in it, if someone sends me this clip, I'm going to be so mad.
There's all these YouTubers now saying smash the like button.
Can you like a podcast on like Spotify?
I don't know. Yeah. How do you do like a platform agnostic exit? I guess you say if you're watching us on YouTube.
You say, I don't know if there's a God or not. Please subscribe. And that's a podcast, guys.
Oh my God. Bye. Good night. See you later.
Good night.
Good night, yo.
Good night. What? It's not. What if it's not nighttime? We need to be generic as possible.
And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Catch you all next time. It's like the Thin Matrix exit.
And that's why we'll catch you all. And that's how you catch you all next time. Oh, I hit the mic. And don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
You're just trying to do it at this point.